Hey amigos, how y'all doing? Coming back with another Halloween DIY. As per usual, everything is made with Dollar Tree items, so it's super affordable for anyone to make, especially if you're rolling on a budget. No shame in my game. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. I've already made a couple of Halloween DIY videos. If you haven't seen those yet, I'll go ahead and link the playlist down below for you. Today I'm gonna be sharing 3 simple DIYs with you guys. Just like in all my other DIY videos, I will be including all the materials that I used down in the description box below, so please make sure to check that out as well. Alright, so for this first DIY, I just took a paper towel roll. You can cut it to make one candle a little bit taller than the other, but you can also use a toilet paper roll that's a decent size as well. So I just grabbed my scissors and didn't really measure at all. I just cut one to be a little bit shorter than the other. And there, I had my 2 candles. When you cut, you're gonna obviously have a more jagged edge. That's gonna be the top of your candle, and you want that smooth, sturdy edge to be the bottom, just so when you set it down, it doesn't topple over. So you're gonna take your jagged edge, which is the top of your candle, and just add that silicone glue dripping down your candle, and this is going to be the wax. You can really have fun and play with this. It has no rhyme or reason to it. You should end up with something that looks like this. Then I just took my taller candle and I repeated the glue gun process. I took my fine thin Sharpie marker and looked for an area where I did less of the drips. Looking down, I could have done the face before doing the drips and just avoided the face altogether, but I didn't. So I just looked for the area where less of the drips were and added my scary tree face. The eyes are like angry and it's just an open mouth. And I went ahead and did that to both of my candles. Then what you're gonna wanna do is cut out that face, so that's why you don't want it to be too intricate, but I found the best way was holding it together and then making a slit, then going with my scissors and cutting those out. As you can see, mine are not perfect. If you want, you can use an X-Acto knife instead, but I was pretty content with how it came out. Then I go outside with my Rust-Oleum Ultra Matte paint. There is my dog Buster. And I just went ahead and coated everything that I was going to be using for this video in black. Once those were nice and dry, I came inside and got my Dollar Tree tea lights. I actually didn't find these in black. I didn't find 4, so I had to settle with 2 white ones and 2 black ones. So I used my white ones for the bottom just so they wouldn't be too visible. I glued those on nice and securely with some glue guns and then turned it on to see how it looked, and you could barely notice the white, so I was pretty happy about that. Next, I went in with my double-sided tape. You don't want to glue on your top candles because you're gonna have to take those on and off to turn them on, so I just did like a U shape with the tape and secured it on, snipped off that extra tape, and that was it. This part is completely optional. I just took acrylic white paint, spread it on the raised bumps from the fallen down wax, and that is it, guys. You can leave it all black or just add this white detail and you've got yourself some spooky candles. Next, we're going to be making the these witch poison bottles. I got this bottle with stand at Goodwill for $2, but you can use an old wine bottle from your house or a glass or a plastic container from the Dollar Tree. You're going to need some labels for this product. I simply Googled witch poison bottle labels and I got a ton of options. I made sure it was a decent size for my container, went in with some scissors and cut that out. You're gonna want to add a dab of glue to the back of your label so it stays in place while you're Mod Podging it onto your container. So I went in with some Glossy Mod Podge. You can use any other Mod Podge of choice, and added one layer of that to the front of my entire bottle. Then I set that aside to dry and I brought over my other materials. I wanted to go for a voodoo vibe, so I got moss sheets, Spanish moss, twine, and I did pick up a pack of those black Halloween ornaments. When the Glossy Mod Podge dries, it really blends in well. Next, you're gonna take one of your black ornaments and hot glue it to the top of your bottle. Then I took my green moss sheet and kind of outlined with a fine Sharpie where the label was. And here is me cutting out that shape. And then I place it on top and see where the moss sheet is too overwhelming because I still wanted that glass bottle to show through. Once I was content with the shape of my cutout, I just hot glue it onto my bottle and make sure my label is still visible. Next, I took my Spanish moss. I really wanted this to be organic, as if it was left there to rot and like a ton of moss and shrubs were growing onto it. So I added some hot glue. Really no rhyme or reason to this, just wherever I felt it needed more greenery, I added hot glue and then added my Spanish moss. Then I went in with some twine and wrapped it around the neck of my bottle. Then snipped it off once I was content, and then just tucked it into the twine. There you have it, guys. You have your witchy voodoo type poison bottle. I also made a smaller one as well. Next, we will be making this skull head vase. I spray painted both of these items outside. I grabbed this vase from the Goodwill for 50 cents, but the Dollar Tree did have a lot of neat options as well. I hot glued the skull to the vase from the beginning, which probably wasn't the best idea, and you'll see later on in the video. I later eyeballed where I wanted my hole, and I did want it to be vertically aligned to the opening of my vase. So I grabbed a knife, which again was not a good idea either. I quickly got aggravated and realized this was probably not the safest way to make a hole. So I grabbed my scissors and finished slitting a hole into my skull, started to cut out the opening, and it detached from the vase. So you want to make the hole before you glue it onto your vase. Then grab your bunches of flowers, detach those from each of their individual bunches, and just arrange them until you're content with how it looks. Once you've fluffed them out, stick this back onto your vase, and there you have it, guys. You have your skull head vase. So if you stayed till the end of this video, you are a true MVP. If you enjoyed these 3 simple DIYs, please like this video and subscribe down below for more DIY content. Thank you for stopping by, and I will see you guys on the next one. Keep it crafty, guys. Bye.